Welcome to the video blog. We just finished the PR News PR People Awards luncheon. I'm with one of the honorable mentions, Tomika DePriest from Spelman College. Welcome to the video blog.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great. Now, one of Tomika's challenges was something that very common among folks doing communications for organizations in 2009. And that's dealing with bad news, dealing with budget reductions from the state the first time the school had ever had to lay off staff. And we're going to hear some of the tools and tips and tactics and approaches that Tomika spearheaded to make it a more positive PR communications message. Tell us about that.
Sure. The first rule of thumb that was a guiding principle for us was transparency. First and foremost, to share as candidly and as clearly what would be for our community a very difficult message. So we started with that as a guiding principle.
Great. Now you had three groups. You had your staff, you had the students, you had the prospective students in the outside world, and obviously Spelman is a significant place in American history. It's a unique institution.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we did is we approached this very difficult task from the perspective of the glass is half full. And we used it as an opportunity to really tell our story in terms of the value of a Spelman education when we turned to that third group, which was the external and media community. And in sharing the fact that we were up against difficult challenges, but that the glass was half full, and sort of sharing some of the exciting innovations that people could financially support actually helped us to garner some donations, some significant donations during what is, of course, a difficult time.
Right. Now, with those donations, have you also seen an increase in applicants for this incoming class? Obviously, the economic conditions are also driving young people to need to go to school when they can't compete in the job market.
That's absolutely right. But we have at Spelman a unique problem that's not a problem. We get 5,000 applications for only 525 or so slots. That trend has continued even in a bad economic year. But what our students are facing really is the ability to pay for it. So they have the talent and they can get into the institution, but the issue is, can they stay because of financial or lack of financial support?
So how do you handle that from a communications standpoint when that seems like it's more of an admissions area and you don't want to necessarily be looking through people's finance, say, wait, who's going to really survive 4 years and who's not? So how do you handle that from a communications standpoint?
That's great. We launched an initiative called the Starfish Initiative, and it's based around this story that some people have heard about a young girl who sees a bunch of starfish dried up on the shore. And one by one, she begins to throw them in with the idea of, let me save as many as I can. It's only me. I know it's a beach full, but I'm just going to start picking up starfish and throwing them in the water. Well, folks come along the way and say, what are you doing? And when she responds and tells them, I'm saving starfish one at a time, people join her. So in telling our starfish story, here's the future of our country, the future leadership, the world as well as our country is going to need them. Let's pick these starfish up and throw them back in the water one by one. And that has worked for us.
Great. And a final thought, anything you've learned from the process that might benefit others who have to deal with communicating bad news?
Absolutely. Take care of yourself and encourage your staff to take care of themselves. When you are working on a campaign that involves difficulty, and circumstances that an institution is seeing for the first time, there's a lot of stress involved in that. And you tend to work a lot of hours. You can't really get beyond that. But in the moments that you can step away, you have to really, really take care of yourself. Eat well, make sure that you are working out and having some kind of physical exercise, and stay spiritually grounded, and see the glass as half full. And you'll be able to influence and affect others in the best way possible, even in bad circumstances or difficult ones.
Well, thanks so much, and I'm glad you corralled us before we got on the elevator to head out. Thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure to be with you.